praises to our King, for he is
show what he's capable of doing. So he says, go back. Moses goes back to Pharaoh. This is good. He stands in front of Pharaoh, the most powerful man in the world, looks him in his eyes and said, God told me to tell you, let my people go so that they can go and worship him. But money is a mighty motivator when your motives are wrong. So because the money was good, Pharaoh didn't listen to God. He listened to money. Oh, could I drop this on you? You can't serve two masters. No. So he listened to money instead of God and told Moses, no, I'm not going to let your people go. This is where it gets real good now. So Moses said, God told me to tell you, let them go or else. He's the most powerful man in the world. Why do I have to believe in your God? In the Israelite God, the God who's allowed all his people to be my slaves. Obviously, I'm greater than him. So that's all God was waiting on. Yeah. You're not going to let them go? God rolls up his sleeves. Yeah. Getting down to business. I love it because it says this: watch the strong arm of the Lord. Yeah, I think there's some people in here that can testify that you've seen the strong arm of the Lord. When you didn't know what you was going to do or how you was going to make it, God showed you his strong arm. When you was about to give up, about to throw in the towel, God started rolling up his sleeves. Because he's about to show you his power. Watch this. So now God says, Moses says, you going to let him go? Pharaoh says no. Moses says, okay then. And then all of a sudden, watch this, all the water in Egypt turned to blood. So couldn't nobody drink anything. Egypt, Africa, hot. You get that? Thirsty, parched, no water. Turn on the faucet, it's blood. Now, they probably didn't have faucets. They dipped from the well. Amen. We can temporize the text. Everywhere they went to get water, in the water fountain, blood. They couldn't drink anything. Pharaoh, are you going to let God's people go? No, I can't do that. So now frogs start hopping all throughout Egypt. Everywhere. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Open up the cabinet, frogs hopping out. Trying to get cereal, open up the cereal, frog jumping out the Captain Crunch. Everywhere that's a shame too. Everywhere you turn, frogs everywhere. So many frogs, you can't even walk without stepping on frogs. Pharaoh, are you going to let God's people go? No, I can't do it. So then gnats and flies begin to swarm all of Egypt. Not normal, but buzzing insects everywhere. So much so they couldn't even open their eyes. There's a swarm. They have to lock themselves in their house. When they look up the blinds, open up the blinds, gnats and flies are matted against the window. They can't even see outside. They're everywhere. They can't even function because there's so many gnats and flies. I can't stand gnats or flies. Amen. Everywhere. Couldn't have no cookouts. Amen. It's flies, gnats everywhere. Pharaoh, are you gonna let my people go? I can't do it. The money's good. So when the flies and the gnats were gone, they look outside. Watch this. All the livestock had died. All the cows, no more steaks. All the pigs, no bacon. If you country like me, chitlins gone, no more chitlins. That's depressing. What you ill for, girl? Everything gone. No more ham. Oh, that's just a shame. But that's not even a bad part. Could you imagine the stench and the smell from all the rotting, decaying animal carcasses, the bacteria that was everywhere, people getting sick. They couldn't even open up their doors because the smell would come into their homes. It's miserable. Pharaoh, are you going to let God's people go? I can't let them go. Now, this is what I love. You probably never even seen this in the text. God sends Moses to the furnace, and he scoops out of the furnace the ash and the soot from the furnace. And if we got any sports fan, y'all know how LeBron James take the Send all the chalk up in the air. He sent Moses with the soot and the ash in his hand to Pharaoh. Pharaoh, are you going to let God's people go? I can't do it. And Moses throws the ash into the air. And the ash spreads everywhere. And everywhere the ash lands on the skin of the Israelites, of the Egyptians, it covered with boils and sores and painful blisters over every Egyptian, but not the Israelites. But every Egyptian was covered in these painful sores all over their skin. Pharaoh, are you going to let God's people go? No, I can't do it. And then watch this. Now God sits up in heaven and releases a hailstorm. God's literally throwing hailstones out of heaven, taking out the enemies of the Israelites, hitting them as he's throwing out the hail, and they're dropping dead. Anybody Egyptian that came outside, God was hitting them with hailstones. Aren't you glad you serve a God who will fight on your behalf? Yeah, he was sending out these hailstones. Pharaoh, are you going to let them go? No. He sends locusts. They swarm as much as the gnats and the flies. Are you going to let them go? No. And then God sits up in his celestial heaven and divinely reaches his hand and flips his majestic light switch, and the sun goes out. And there is no light in all of Egypt. It's completely dark. No light. The sun stops shining at God's command, and it's pitch black dark except for the huts of the Israelites. They still got light. Y'all don't even know where to shout. Ain't it good how God will shut off the lights on your enemies but keep you shining? Nudge your neighbor, tell them shine bright like a diamond. Yeah. So God is working on behalf of the Israelites. Now, Pharaoh, are you going to let God's people go? I can't do it. So God really rolls his sleeves up. Let's get serious. Moses, I want you to get all the Israelites together. Tell them to get a lamb and to sacrifice the lamb and to take the blood of the sacrificed lamb and smear it on the doorposts of the house of every Israelite. Yeah, smear the blood over the entrance into every Israelite home. You miss it. Take the blood of the lamb and cover the houses of my people. Watch this, because I'm going to send a death angel, and the death angel is going to come into every home and snatch life away from every firstborn son, except for those who are covered. You missed that. By the blood. Hence the name the Passover, because when the death angel came, when he reached a house that was covered by the blood of the lamb, he would pass over that house. I tell y'all don't even know where to shout. You didn't even know that the enemy had came for your house, but because your house was covered by the blood, that's why you still here. The death angel would pass over. Yeah, I love it. I love it. He would pass over the houses of the Israelites because they were covered by the blood of the lamb and snatch the life out of every firstborn son of the Egyptians. So the next morning, Pharaoh woke up to the sounds of the moans and the cries of every mother. Every father in the city, in the nation of Egypt, were crying out because they went to wake up their son, but their son was dead. Yeah, because they were not covered by the blood. And Pharaoh said, enough's enough. Moses, get you and all your people, and y'all get out of here. Yeah, because your God is on your side. So you get them and get out of Egypt. I release you from your captivity. You were once my slave, but now you're free. All because of the...